everyone. I've got some bad news recently coming out of the US. The CDC, or the Center for Disease Control, published a report earlier this year that examined the body weights during pregnancy of women living in the contiguous 48 United States, as well as New York City and Washington, D.C., which they studied as independent entities. The report first explains the known information about being pregnant at an unhealthy weight and what the consequences are. They say that the women in the report entering pregnancy above a certain BMI limit are, and I quote, more likely to experience adverse pregnancy outcomes and to have infants who experience adverse health outcomes, unquote. It goes on to say that pregnancies in women with a BMI below 18.5 have higher risks for producing smaller than normal fetuses and having premature birth. Conversely, with a BMI of 25 or higher, women are at an increased risk of reduced fertility, of producing larger than normal fetuses, which then typically leads to a higher need for C-sections, and the children grow to be more at risk of childhood obesity, which is perhaps a combination of epigenetic and lifestyle factors. A normal weight BMI, defined by the CDC as between 18.5 and 24.9, is correlated with normal fetus size and healthy development. The discussion section of the report addressed these risks, estimating the prevalence of pregnancy at a normal BMI at about 45%. This is to say that 45% of women were at a normal weight BMI when they became pregnant. They were between 18.5 and 24.9. The other 55% of women became pregnant while at an unhealthy body weight, either below or above this BMI threshold. They looked at multiple studies about this problem, all of them conducted across overlapping lengths of time, with the earliest study beginning in 1999, and the most recent study being concluded in 2015. All of these studies found a consistent, decreasing trend in the prevalence of normal weight BMIs, and an increase in both overweight and obese BMIs. Essentially, for at least a decade and a half, the number of women in the US becoming pregnant at a normal weight BMI has been decreasing. And in quite a stark contrast, the number of women becoming pregnant while overweight or obese has been increasing at a faster rate. The report also mentions the fallibility of BMI as a metric, because BMI tends to mistake muscle mass as fat, and it reports bodybuilders and other heavily muscled folk as obese. And clearly, there's a difference between obesity and having high muscle mass, but BMI is too coarse of a metric to need out these details. However, with that said, this isn't such an error that it invalidates BMI as a tool, especially not with studies at this scale. The researchers also clarify that the results are not representative of the entire US population, as the states Alaska and Hawaii were left out of the study. With those caveats kind of explained and out of the way, the results of the study remain relevant to modern-day health issues, and they'll be relevant going forward into the future, as becoming and being pregnant while overweight or obese has a literal generational effect. It influences everything from the child's gene expression, epigenetics, to the lifestyle that they're raised in. They might be raised in an obesogenic environment, which is how their parent got obese or overweight or what have you in the first place. The CDC encourages women to have BMI screenings during regular doctor visits, as this provides the chance to work on dietary and lifestyle choices to optimize body weight before and during pregnancy, so as to also optimize health outcomes for the child.